Ladies and gentlemen, wrong page. It actually said, thank you so much, we hope you had a wonderful time. Well, goodbye. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome yet to another one of those thrilling days of yesteryear, a live recreation of some of your favorite shows from the golden age of radio. Now, during World War II, Hollywood did its part to help keep morale and spirits high. Movies and music flooded the country depicting brave young men and women serving their country heroically. And for those troops who couldn't enjoy the entertainment stateside, radio became a key player in entertaining and supporting our troops overseas. Time and again, shows like G.I. Jive, Jubilee, and Your Hit Parade gathered celebrities from all over to perform for the American fighting forces. But none was as successful as the long-running Command Performance. Hailed by Time magazine as the best wartime program in America, this program ran from 1942 until 1949 and featured literally hundreds of Hollywood's best actors, actresses, singers, musicians, and celebrities of all types, all donating their time and talent to entertain the troops, and then even after the war, all the men and women who continued to be stationed overseas. Now, the story goes that the producers wanted to create a show for the GI who was trained to obey commands and could now command anything he wanted from the radio world. And that's how they got the name. Another thing that made this program unique was that it was broadcast on the shortwave Armed Forces Radio Network, and therefore the general American public rarely got to enjoy such top-drawer talent like Cary Grant, Betty Hutton, Virginia O'Brien, Burns Allen, Spike Jones, Cass Daly, Phil Harris, Jack Benny, Danny Kaye, Kate Smith, and many other legendary celebrities presenting their classic and memorable routines and songs for the boys over there. And while not all of these performers actually worked on the same episode together, they all appeared on the show at one time or another to give all of their their all to the troops, both men and women, who worked so hard to serve their country. So what we have done is weave them into one complete show, imagining that this is what it might have been like if all of those amazing performers had in fact gathered on the stage at that same time. So this week, as we wind up our 10th anniversary season of our 10 best shows in 10 months, it's only right that we pull out some of the best in our company to perform for you a compilation of the 10 best selections of Command Performance. And the extra bonus is that not only is this one of our favorite shows, and not only do we feel very confident that you will be wonderfully entertained, but this is our way also of taking a moment to honor and entertain those troops of ours, both past, present, and future. And we know that there are some of you in the audience tonight who have given their service or have loved ones there, and we dedicate this show to you and to them. This is your Command Performance. So while listening, you might pretend that you are one of the young men and women who had their fortune of being in that live audience as they watch their favorite performers do their thing. So join us now as we take you back to those thrilling days of yesteryear.
The greatest entertainers in America, as requested by you, the fighting men of the United States Armed Forces throughout the world. Command Performance, presented to you this week and every week, till it's over there. Communique from Command Performance. Our forces on the American entertainment front are maintaining contact with Uncle Sam's Armed Forces on the fighting front. We're pushing back the curtains on another great Command Performance in answer to your thousands of letters. There is much to report from this area tonight. The man to report it, a great actor and a great guy. Called back to your big show by popular acclaim of the AEF, your Master of Ceremonies, Cary Grant.
Thank you, Ken Carpenter. Hello, fellas. Greetings to our friends in the United Nations. Over here in the land of the Star-Spangled Banner, this is another banner night for your Star-Spangled Performance. So let's get on with answering those swell letters you write into Command Performance. Letters from a certain company in APO 869 that say, give us Virginia O'Brien. And letters from APO 865 that say, the top gal with our outfit is Virginia O'Brien. So gang, look who's here. The girl who's parlayed a deadpan and a screwball way of singing screwball songs into a big picture career. One of your command performance favorites, Virginia O'Brien.
Thanks, Mr. Grant, and hello, fellas. And going around the world in 10 seconds flat is love and kisses for Johnny, Danny, Keith, and Curly at APO 7, the Bushmasters at 959, and the Navy V-Mail Shack at Navy 230. And here's our little thought for the week. Life used to be a gay thing, filled with happiness, night and day thing. It was something to have and to hold, but it seems that your love grew cold. I never knew that our romance had ended until you poisoned my food, and I thought it was a lark when you kicked me in the park, but now I think it was rude. I never knew that our romance had finished until that bottle hit my head. And though I tried to be aloof when you pushed me off the roof, I feel our romance is dead. It wouldn't have been so bad if you told me that someone had taken my place. But no, you didn't even scold me. You just tried to disfigure my face. You will never know how this heart of mine is breaking. It looks so hopeless, but then life used to be sweet and placid if you just put down that acid and say that we're sweethearts again. Remember that night in Bridgeport when the moon shone down on the both of us and the breeze sang a love song? And you looked at me and I looked at you and you didn't know what to do, so you broke my leg. I thought there was a sort of strange look in your eyes, but then you smiled and, well, that made everything all right. Then there was that time when we went canoeing and you set fire to my dress. You said you pushed me overboard to put out the flames, but I could never quite understand why you held my head underwater so long. Of course, I've never met this person who's taken my place, but I want you to know that I wish you all the luck in the world. And if there's anything I can do, anything at all, you can reach me at room 304 at the General Hospital. Farewell, my sweet. You'll never know how this heart of mine is breaking. It looks so helpless, but then our love is great, no love can match it. Darling, please put down that hatchet and say that we're sweethearts again. Next, fellas, we'll answer mail to command performance from so many of you that we'll just say that one of your most beloved radio teams is here tonight, especially for the infantry, wherever you're fighting, and for you Marines, and for you tough sailors of the Navy, Merchant Marine, and Coast Guard, by worldwide acclaim of the AEF, George Burns and Gracie Allen.
As we look into the Burns household tonight, we find the Burns in their study. George is nestled comfortably by the fire, reading the evening paper, while Gracie sits at her desk, trying to balance her checkbook.
6 and a 12 and 3, 54 and 11. Oh, George!
Yes, dear?
How many times does 6 go into 19?
3 and carry 1.
Thank you. 9, 4, 13, minus 8, plus 45. Oh, George!
Yes, dear?
Where do I carry it?
Carry what?
Whatever it is that you carry around to help 6 get into 19.
Carry it back to old Virginia. Let me read my paper.
Well, dear, don't you want to know how my bank balance came out this month?
Okay, you win. How did it come out this month?
Oh, wonderful. The bank owes me $175.
The bank owes you $175.
Yes, I added it up several times. At first they only owed me $6, but I worked on it and worked on it.
And now they owe you you will break the bank.
Oh, no, I wouldn't want to do that. They're nice to me down there. The cashier keeps sending me cute little notes.
The cashier sends you notes.
Well, no, not exactly notes, but he puts his initials on all my checks.
What are his initials?
NSF.
NSF means not sufficient funds.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Imagine a great big bank like that without any money.
Look, let me see those checks. If there's anything wrong, it's not the bank's fault. The bank never makes mistakes.
They hired my uncle. didn't
My
they?
blunder, yes. Now let me see. What's this check stub here?
Oh, that's for the beautiful new hat I bought.
Which hat? The one you bought with feathers?
Oh, don't be silly, George. You can't buy a hat with feathers.
Gotta have money, yes, I forgot that. Gracie, you gotta be more careful with those checks. Remember, this is a joint account. You know what that is?
Oh, sure. A joint account is where the husband deposits the money, the wife writes the checks, and at the end of the month, if everything balances and everything comes out even.
What then?
I don't know. It's never happened to me.
Well, look at this stuff. $1 for a bicycle pump, and we haven't got a bicycle. What's that for?
Oh, well, that's an economy. That'll save us lots of money on breakfast food.
A bicycle pump will save us lots of money on breakfast food.
Yeah, from now on, we'll puff our own rice.
Oh, that'll save us easily between 19 and 20 cents a year.
Now, you see, I can explain every check stub.
Well, all right. Here's one you might explain. One pullover, $25. Look, I don't want to sound like a cheapskate, but isn't that a lot of money for a pullover?
Well, they said it was the regular price.
Who said?
The man on the motorcycle.
You got it from a man on a motorcycle.
Yeah, I went through a red light, and he drove up and said, pull over. He was nice about it. Why not
Pull over. Never mind. What about this little item? A stub made out to the maid company that says either $12 or $15. That's confusing, you know.
Oh, no, it's not confusing at all, George. They had a pair of shoes for $12 and another pair for $15. And they made the stuff that way so that I could scratch out the price of the shoes I decided not to buy.
But neither price is scratched out.
Walking saves tires, George.
Ah, both pair. I thought so, yes. And what's this? $9 for suspenders for George for March the 16th.
Oh, well, that was a little present for you.
Well, it's nice, dear, but what's so special about March the 16th?
Oh, well, you said last night that when you got through paying your income tax this year, you'd be caught with your...
Never mind. What's this item? $8.80.
Oh, well, that's for tickets to Georgie Jessel's vaudeville show, remember?
Oh, yes, it was well worth it, too. Never regret money spent on vaudeville. Gosh, vaudeville. Remember the old days when we were back in vaudeville?
Oh, remember. I'll never forget them, George.
Yes. Remember Altoona?
Yeah.
Remember how nervous I was the day we opened our act?
No, but I remember how nervous you were the day we closed.
Well, same thing.
Same day.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And remember we played on the bill with Fleigenheimer and his trained seals?
Oh, yes. That was the week when one of his seals disappeared.
Yes. And that was the week when you got me a new fur coat. Why, George!
Well, I couldn't help it, Gracie. You know how Otto the seal liked fish.
Well,
One day Otto trapped me in my dressing room and I was eating a piece of Lindy's smoked salmon and it was either me or Otto.
Oh, George, how could you do it? How could you? To think that all these years I've been walking around town wearing a fellow performer.
Well, just so he wasn't a monologist.
Not only that, a hungry one, too.
Yes, a hungry one. Now look, I'm sorry, Gracie.
No excuses, George. It's too late. I'm leaving. I'm leaving this house until the wrong has been righted. Goodbye.
Where are you going?
Over to the Brown Derby to get my coat a piece of salmon.
Well, for heaven's sakes.
George Burns and Gracie Allen. Next, I'd better warn you to dig your heels into the floor and hang on to your seats. Because here comes Paramount's blonde bombshell with a roof-raising ditty entitled He Says Murder. Fellas, here's that vitamin pill with legs, Betty Hutton.
Well, thanks, Mr. Great, and hiya, fellas. Love to Clem and Vince at APO 667 and lay out those coconuts. Hello to Yardboard Karen and Cowboy Jen over at Old Blighty, and Jimmy Hopkins at 860. What's cooking there, boy? Howdy, Sergeant Burns and the Mob at 959, and Dan Turlow, the sad sack of Africa. What the heck is a sad sack? Hello, get in the gang at APO 845, and a Kaylee at APO 34. Gee, thanks for a chunk of a Nazi troop-carrying glider. Brother, that's giving him the old Keely cure for keeps. And now, here's that tune, Murder, he says. Finally found a fella, almost completely like this, he says, murder, he says, is that the language of love? He says, salad, he says, takes me in his arms, he says, salad, he says, leaning on my charms, he says, salad, he says, is that the language of love? He says, chip, chip, you torture me, soon are we living? I'm thinking of leaving him flat. He says, take the jumps, the old taker is giving. Now he can talk plainer than that. He says, murder, he says. Every time we kiss, he says, murder, he says. Even I'm like this and that, murder, he says. And that impossible tone will bring on nobody's murder, but his own. He says, Jackson, he says. And my name's Marie, he says, Jackson, he says. Shoot the snoot to me, he says, Jackson, he says. Is that the language of love? He says, whoop, whoop, he says. When he likes my hat, he says, what the heck is that? He says, whoop, whoop, he says. Is that the language of love? He says, head with helium, now babe, we're cooking, and other expressions to it. He says, we're in the groove, and the groove is good looking. It sounds like his uppers don't fit. He says, murder! He says, murder! And the way he says murder, in that impossible tone, I'm telling him over and over and over again that there'll be nobody else's murder, but his own.
Really, really solid. And many, many thanks.
Well, thanks, Mr. Grant. Well, fellas, one of your favorite requests is the old familiar sounds of things back home. We've had darn near every kind of noise on Command Performance, from goats to foghorns. But there's a new batch of sound requests, so here we go again. At APO 948, Sergeant Hirschwright says, it's been over a year since I heard the delightful sound of suds being poured. So, especially for Sergeant Willie Anderson, please open a bottle of cold beer and pour it into a tall glass. Okay, sound man, draw one. Nice suds. Somewhere on the high seas, Radio Man 3rd Class Alan Roger Davis says, you had a baby cry on Command Performance, but my wife writes me that our baby girl Marabee, who's 3 years old, never cries. She only coos. So could I please hear a baby coo, and I'll make believe it's Marabee. Oh, there, that's a good girl. Now you be quiet, and Mom will give you a nice hot foot. But I'll be nice. And Private Tommy O'Flaherty says, I'd give $1 million to be standing on 42nd and Broadway. A taxi cab is waiting for the green light. And just as a yellow signal comes on, a second cab rolls up and bumps the first, and they lock bumpers. Boy, I just like to hear those two cab drivers yelling at each other. Okay, Tommy, they sound like this.
Hey, what's the matter with you, stupid?
Shut up!
Go on, I'll run you off the avenue.
Shut up!
Go on, I'll punch you in the nose.
Shut up! Go on and hustle, you bustle!
And now, Command Performance is heard everywhere around the world, so it's high time that we dedicate a number to, guess who? Of all things, Adolf Hitler. You know, the German radio says some very bad things about Command Performance, but we just don't care. We feel that Schicklgruber deserves a number, and we know just the tune that'll please that jerk, that guy. So, here's America's Band of the Hour, Spike Jones and his City Slickers, and their sensational tune, Der Fuhrer's Face.
Love, their Führer is a great disgrace, so we hide. says. When Goebbels says, we own the world in space, we hide it, right in the Goebbels face. When Goering says that we'll never bomb this place, we hide it, right in the Goering's face. Are we not the Superman? Ariel, you're Superman?
Yeah, we are the Superman.
Super duper Superman.
Is this Nazi land so good? Would you leave it if you could?
Yeah, this Nazi land is good. We will leave it if we would.
We bring the world to new order. I will let world to new order. Every one of foreign race will love their pure space. Then we bring to the world this order. The Führer says, we is the master race. We hide, right in their pure space. To love their Führer is a great disgrace. So we hide, right in their pure space. Space. To love their Führer is the greatest race, so we hide, right in their Führer's space.
The Führer's face. I'll bet it's purple when he hears that. But thanks a lot, Spike Jones and his City Slickers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you another command performance first. Can you imagine a battleship manned entirely by women? Kind of frightening, isn't it? However, just to show you what it would be like, command performance takes you aboard a super dreadnought run by an entirely feminine crew. Any resemblance to a wave or Lady Marine is strictly for laughs. So, with a yo-ho-ho and a bottle of Chanel No. 5, we're off to the USS Garterbelt, where we find Captain Cass Daly addressing her crew, Barbara Stanwyck, June Allison, and Linda Darnell.
Girls, inspection this morning was lousy. In the first place, we hang our laundry on the afterdeck. We don't fly our panties from the mizzenmast. What's more, someone forgot to put the doily under the second 16-inch gun. And to top it all, this morning, I found 12 bobby pins on the poop deck. Ugh. By the way, girls, you can stop lining up outside the powder room every morning. All we keep in there is ammunition. All right, dismissed. Yes, sir? Dismissed. Just a minute. I want to speak to Chief Petting Officer Stanwyck.
Yes, Captain?
Are you coming along with your assignment?
I finished knitting it this morning, Captain.
Well, good. How'd it turn out?
Oh, I think you'll find it's the nicest slip cover our anchor ever had.
Well, I just hope you're better at knitting than you are at painting. The camouflage job you did on our deck was awful.
It was?
I'll say it was. Do you know the message the Admiral sent me? Pardon me, Captain Daly, but your ship is showing. Now, see that it doesn't happen again.
June Allison, firewoman, third class reporting.
Allison, I've got very good news for you. You're being promoted to firewoman second class.
Oh, thank you, Captain.
For the way you handled yourself yesterday when you backed into that boiler, we're putting another stripe on your arm.
It's not where I burned myself, Captain.
Well, all right then. So the stripe will go any place you like. Anyway, you're doing a great job in the boiler room, Allison.
Thank you, Captain. I think we have the best 45,000-ton ship in the entire fleet.
45,000 tons? Gee, does our ship weigh that much?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's awful. From now on, shovel in rye crisps instead of coals. By the way, Chief Stanwyck?
Yes, Captain?
Where was Mrs. Machinist Mate Jackson at muster this morning?
She was below, Captain.
What? There is no excuse for a member of the crew not being at her post. You understand? No excuse. Well, in that case, she's excused. Ah, boy, I got nothing on this. Oh, this is trouble. Hey, you, Darnell.
Yes, Captain?
Now, don't play innocent. I see you putting mascara on your searchlight and winking at destroyers. Yeah, go on, get back to your post.
Yes, sir. Ma'am.
You'll pardon me, Captain. Your lipstick is a little smeared.
Oh, I know. I keep it that way. I like to reminisce, you know? Oh, well, where's my compact? I'll fix it. Ah, gee, men.
They are wonderful, weren't they?
Every submarine off to starboard bow!
Oh, not now, Darnell. I'm putting on lipstick.
Another submarine off to port bow!
Darnell, there's a time and a place for everything. Honestly, that girl, she makes me so mad.
3 men spotted on a raft dead ahead!
Men? Battle stations, everyone! Battle stations, stand by to pick them up!
Oh boy!
Allison, cut that out. And Stanwick, you stop looking prettier than me.
Well, what about you? Dabbing bilge water behind your ears?
It's not danger, Captain!
Oh, good. Okay, girls, one of the lifeboats. Well?
We'll have them aboard in a few minutes.
Wow! 3 of them!
Get that tall one who looks like Errol Flynn.
I fully intend to.
Barbara, that redheaded one looks like Sterling Holloway. Do you want him?
Oh, I'll take a chance. Underneath that hair, there may be a face.
The men are ready to come aboard the ship, Captain!
Okay, Allison, pipe them aboard.
Very good, sir.
The girl could obviously use some Navy indoctrination.
Well, hello, Captain. Gee, I don't know how to thank you for rescuing us.
Oh, say, boy.
Oh boy, men.
Darnell, what are you doing here? You're the lookout.
Well, from now on, everybody looks out for themselves.
Is this one taken, Captain?
You keep away from me. I know you sailors. You probably got a man in every port.
Yes, indeed. Don't you try to tempt us with your lobster checks either.
Now, take it easy. Don't rush them, girls. They've been out on a raft for weeks without food, water, or women.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I'm thirsty.
Now I, on the other hand, I hate to interrupt this, but everyone here seems to be on deck. Shouldn't someone be steering the ship?
Ah, who needs steering? Haven't you ever heard of a woman's intuition?
Yeah, that's what worries me. Fog has come up and you may be off your course, you know?
Ah, we never get off our
But
course.
Captain, in this fog?
Stop worrying. I said we never get off our course.
Oh, my goodness. Say, where are we?
Well, what do you know? Omaha, Nebraska.
Now, right here, Lieutenant PFC Don Garrett, the gang at 927, then we're Hector 927. Reporting Corporal Car at 962, Sergeant Junlin in the service of 762, and Corporal Dick Murray and 500 jungle mothers, that is, to write on one letterhead, first to conserve paper, second to complain of the iguanas chewing the shoestrings, and third to request a certain curly-headed singer and band leader. I asked Jack Benny about this lad, and he said he's strictly corn, but with ham being what it is, who's going to knock corn? Call for Philip Harris!
Thank you. Hey, you Granted? Glad to see you, Grant. Glad to see you.
Yeah, glad to see you too, it says here. But you know, Phil, I haven't seen you around lately.
Well, I've been out on tour with the band. You know, one-night stands. We've been brainstorming around the country.
Well, fellas, I can put a stop to this in a hurry. I'll invite the guy to sing. Answering many thousands of requests, it's Phil Harris singing, "That's What I Like About the South."
Pour on the coals. Won't you come with me to Alabama? Let's go see my dear old mammy. She's frying eggs and broiling ham. That's what I like about the South. Now there can be no mistaking where the nerves are never shaken. On the taste that Leia gave you. That's what I like about the South. She got pink ribs and candy yams, sugar-cured Virginia hams, breast full of those berry jams. That's what I like about the South. Hot cornbread, black-eyed peas, you can go with it if you please, 'cause it's never out of season. That's what I like about the South. I don't have one, take two, that dark brown chocolate too. Suits me, it must suit you. That's what I like about the South. windows tall, down where they say you all. Come on in with that southern drawl, and that's what I like about the South. It's way down where the pretty queens keep dreaming. Those dreaming dreams will sip some absinthe in New Orleans, and that's what I like about the South. Bob with all the news, got the box-back coat and the button shoes, but he's all caught up with his Eagles dues, and that's what I like about the South. Here come old Roy with the feet you can see his funky feet. Ooh, he was rather sleep than eat, and that's what I like about the South. I didn't come here to criticize, I'm not here to sympathize, but don't tell me them no good lies, cause a lying gal I do despise. You love me like I love you, send me 50 PDQ. Roses are red and violets on me, I won't get my 50, I don't think. Now every time I pass your door, you act like you don't want me no more. How come you could go ahead inside and I just go walking right on by? Go on and on and on. Honey, when you tell me that you love me, how come you close your eyes? Did I tell you about a place called TTDY? It ain't no town and it ain't no city. It's awful small but awful pretty. Well, TTDY. I'm not here to sympathize, but don't tell me them no good lies, cause a lying gal I do despise. Got ham hocks and good breeds, turnip greens and New Orleans, you with me and in between, and that's what I like about the South. Take me home. Overseas and turn your radio to hear the thrilling dramas of suspense. One of the highlights in that series is the unforgettable performance of a Miss Agnes Moorehead in Sorry, Wrong Number. Well, here at home the response of both the critics and the public have been so enthusiastic with Miss Moorehead, she was called upon to repeat the playlist several times. On each occasion she gave a stirring, vivid portrayal as a neurotic woman who hears a murder being plotted over cross telephone wires, and then she finally learns that the intended victim of the murder is herself. Now, Miss Moorehead's characterization is truly an incomparable study in terror. Tonight we hope to bring you that great radio drama, Sorry, Wrong Number. Miss Agnes Moorehead, unfortunately, was unable to be with us. So, we secured the services of another personality with the same dynamic appeal, none other than Jack Benny. We now take you to Mr. Benny's home in Beverly Hills, where we find Jack sitting anxiously by the telephone waiting. Nerves are shattered. Another victim of suspense.
Busy. It can't be busy all this time. Operator. Be quiet, Polly. Operator.
I'm sorry, but that lion is busy.
Listen, operator, I've been trying to get that number for the last 20 minutes. It's a big advertising agency. They have a switchboard.
I'm sorry, the lion is busy.
Oh, can't be busy. I've been ringing that number since 25 after 11. Do you know what time it is now?
For the correct time, dial Ulrich 8900.
Operator, I know what time it is. It's 11:45.
Quarter to 12.
Polly, quiet. Listen, operator, I'm a subscriber. I pay my bills every month, and since I've been on this phone, I've had nothing but trouble.
Trouble? One moment, please. I will connect you.
Repair department.
That's not my trouble. What do I have to do to get Hillside 7593?
Just call the operator.
Oh my goodness, why can't I? Operator!
Number, please.
Look, operator, I want Hillside 7593.
You may dial that number direct.
I did dial the number. I kept getting a busy signal. That's why I've been trying to tell you. Look, operator, I'm Jack Benny. I have a radio program. The option comes up at 12 tonight. If I don't hear from my sponsor, Mr. Jones, in 15 minutes, I'll be out of a job. He's the advertising manager. I'm trying to get him on the phone, and I can't get the number.
I will connect you with information.
Operator, don't you understand? I don't want information. All I need...
This is information.
Look, I don't want it. I want Hillside 7593.
You may dial that number direct.
I've tried it direct, indirectly, spelled backwards. Now what do I have to do to get Hillside 7593?
You may dial that number direct.
Oh, nuts. I don't know what to do. This is driving me mad. It keeps getting later, later.
Quarter to 12, quarter to 12.
Quiet. Besides, it's 10 minutes to 12 now. Your watch is slow. Well, I'll try and... Oops! There it is. It's my sponsor. He's calling me. He's calling me. Hello? Hello?
Mr. Benny?
Yes.
It's 50 words or less, isn't it?
The contest is over. Fine time to ask me about my contest. If my sponsor doesn't call me pretty soon, I'll go nuts. I still have 8 minutes. I've got to reach Mr. Jones by 12 o'clock. I'll be quiet. Here's a cracker. And eat it slowly. It might be your last. Well, I'll try that number again. Can't still be busy? I know it can't. I'm sure there must be something wrong with it. Oh.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, is that you, Mr. Jones?
Jones? That's my sponsor. Mr. Jones, this is me, Jack Benny.
Oh, George.
They can't hear me. The wires must be crossed.
Yes, George, I thought the matter over thoroughly and I decided to let him go.
I see. Well, it's going to be quite a shock to him. He's been with us a long time.
Well, George, he's had it coming. His work has fallen off so badly it isn't funny anymore.
Yoink! They're talking about me. Mr. Jones, operator.
Well, Mr. Jones, don't you think you ought to warn him and give him another chance? It might be difficult to replace him.
Yeah, that's right. Tell him, George. Tell him. Nice boy, George. Nice boy. Tell him.
No, George, I've made up my mind. I think we should look for a younger man.
Younger? Why, I'm only 37. 37!
37 and 37, that's 75.
That's 74, you don't. Guess you count.
So you don't think warning him would do any good, eh, Mr. Jones?
No, he's had his chance.
Oh, Mr. Jones, please. George had a swell idea. Warn me. Give me another chance. I might be difficult to replace. Tom Brenneman is so busy, and he has to get up so early in the morning.
All right, Mr. Jones, I'll let him know.
Oh, I've been cut off. Operator!
Number, please.
Operator, I want Hillside 7593. Would you please get it for me?
You may dial that number direct.
But I've been dialing all morning. My fingers are so swollen they don't fit into the hole.
One moment, please. I will try that number for you.
Thank you. Only 5 minutes to go. If I can only talk to Mr. Jones, if I can just speak, plead with him, beg him like I did last year. Maybe I can talk him to give me another...
Sorry, that line is busy.
Busy. What am I gonna do? I gotta think fast.
Busy.
Oh, shut up. This is serious. You may have to go to work. It's 4 minutes to 12. Wait a minute, I know. I'll call my agent. That's it, my agent. Why am I paying him 9%? I'll try and get him, and... That might be Mr. Jones. Hello?
Hello, is that you, Edna?
Edna?
This is Johnny McGuire. I just got back from the South Pacific. I haven't seen a woman in 3 years. You're the first one I called.
Look, you must have the wrong number.
Don't give me that, Edna. I recognize your voice right away.
Look, but I'm not...
Now, what would you say, Edna? Let's you and me step out tonight, and I'll buy you a nice big dinner.
Look, I'm telling you, you have the wrong... Dinner? No. What am I thinking of? You don't even want to... I'm sorry, you have the wrong number. Wish it was Edna. I wish I was Edna. At least then I know where my... Oh, my goodness. Only 3 minutes to 12. No time to call my agent now. I've got to get Mr. Jones. Maybe he hasn't signed anybody else yet. I'll tell him I'll do anything he asks me. Anything. I'll let him cut my salary this year. I'll suggest it myself. The line's clear. It's not busy. I still have time.
This is Hillside 7593.
Give me Mr. Jones, quick, this is Jack Benny.
Mr. Jones is busy on another line. Would you call back?
No, I'll hold on. Oh, hurry, Mr. Jones, hurry. You haven't got much time. I haven't got much time. Hello?
Hello?
Is that you, Mr. Jones? No, it's you, Polly. Shut your big mouth!
Hello? What's that?
Mr. Jones! I wasn't talking to you, Mr. Jones. It wasn't your big mouth, it was my parents. This is Jack Benny.
Oh, well, Jack, I'm glad you called. I wanted to tell
Mr.
you...
Jones, please, before you say anything, listen to me. You got to listen to me. I know I've been on the air a long time, but I'm not through yet. Honest, I'm not. There's still a few good years left in me, and I want you to have them.
But Jack...
I know I've made mistakes, Mr. Jones. Everybody's made mistakes. I mean, everybody, but you, Mr. Jones, you always do the right thing. You're wise, smart, intelligent, kind. That's it, kind. You're so too kind to cast aside me aside like an old shoe. Give me another chance, please, Mr. Jones. Don't drop my option.
Why, Jack, what are you crying about? We've no intention of letting you go.
Honest, Mr. Jones, if you'd only give me... What? You mean you're going to pick up my option?
Why, certainly. I've been trying to call you all morning. Your phone's been busy.
My phone? Busy?
Tell me, Jack, whatever gave you the idea we wouldn't take up your option?
Well, Mr. Jones, I called you a few minutes ago, and the wires got crossed, and I heard you talking to a man named George.
George? Oh, yes, he's my office manager.
Well, I overheard you telling him to let somebody go. You wanted a younger man?
Oh, I remember, certainly. I discharged him this morning. It was the janitor.
The janitor?
Yes.
Oh, the janitor. Well, the joke's certainly on me. Mr. Jones, if the man wasn't doing his work, what else could you do? It's not your fault the man is incapable. There's no place for sentiment in business, Mr. Jones. That's what I like about you, Mr. Jones. You don't let your heart rule your head. That janitor got what was coming to him. I don't believe in a man whining and trying to hang on to a job when he's not wanted. I agree with you. If a man fails to deliver, let him go. Get rid of him, I say. Fire him.
And your cast of splendid performers.
Thank you, Ken. And now, fellas, we bring you one of the brightest young stars ever to flash across the entertainment world. Loads of charm, bursting with talent, a really thrilling personality, effervescent, magnetic, dynamic, Danny Kaye. Well, how are you tonight, Dan? Pretty good? I bet you have something really sensational for command performance, huh? Something that'll really rock 'em and lay the aisles, huh? What personality? What magnetism? Is all you can say? Well, say something else, for goodness sake. Now cut that out! What does that mean? Well, this is ridiculous. I thought you were supposed to be a comedian, Dan.
Well, I am, Mr. Benny, but there's no sense trying to top you, the great Jack Benny. Why, you've got loads of charm, you're bursting with talent, a really thrilling personality, effervescent, magnetic, dynamic, Jack Benny. And besides, Mr. Benny, my files only go back to 1937.
Yes, this is a disadvantage. My ad-libs go clear back to Prohibition.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So, if you don't mind, Mr. Benny, I'll just sing.
All right, Danny, what's it going to be?
Well, I've had quite a few letters asking for the lobby number from the picture Up in Arms. And so this, if you remember, is a scene that takes place in a movie theater. And of course, it's a musical picture, and all musical pictures are alike. So, supposing you do get into the theater, and supposing you do get a seat, and the woman in front does take her hat off, and you do get a look at the screen, what do you see? Manic Depressive Pictures presents... Hello, Fresno, goodbye! Produced by Argumatic and directed by Depressive. Now you know that like to see it, but no. Screenplay by Glutz, from a stage play by Mutz, from a story by Blip, from a chapter by Rot, from a sentence by Dote, from a comment by Stokes, from an idea by Gross. Based on a joke, there's a joke. So now you know the name of the picture and who wrote it, and you'd still like to see it, but no. Argumented, Finkel, Pop Interiors, Minerva, Buff Photography, Alonzo Tech Recordings, on this new Rebecca, Upholstery by Zachary, Dickory by Thackeray, to Crimson from a Dickory, and Dickory by Dunn. And now, finally at last, comes the picture. And what do we see? The same old beautiful chorus girls. The opening scene is a ranch in Fresno, California. So what are they singing? When it's cherry blossom time in Orange, New Jersey, we'll make a peach of a pear. I know we can't elope, so honey, give me mine. And out from the coach, out rides his hunk of man. He is our hero, Cowboy Dan, a galloping gentleman buckaroo. His horse, of course, is a baritone too. I've got that old wagon wheel inside of me. I've got that. The girls are delighted to hear this. But where's our heroine? As the bell rings for lunch, we find our heroine in the corral, eating her heart out. She is Mary Sue Ann, the tap-dancing daughter of an American juggling act who left her on the doorstep of an old English castle who was found by surveys of metabolism who said, "By Jove, a girl baby! I shall raise her as my own daughter." To which he did. But she wants to marry Cowboy Dan, whom she met at the strip. It was love at first sight, and she wants to tap dance for Cowboy Dan, whom she met at the tap dance, but she knows that surveys will never permit this. Never. That's why she's eating her heart out. But through her tears, she is singing a happy little song, because she is also a coloratura soprano. She's beside herself. Her favorite position. She rushes to her father. "Oh, Father, you must let me marry Cowboy Dan. He owns the biggest ranch in Texas." Bar none. Bar none? Cowboy Dan cannot believe his ears. Bar none? Why, that's the password of the FBI. It can't be. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, it can't be. That it was. He rushes to Mary Sue Ann. "Mary Sue Ann, you must help me. Can you tap out a message in code? This is a big chance. But now she can tap dance, which she does. What's she done? She has betrayed her own father. But he isn't her father. No, he is hanging from groping, snooping, contriving, hanging, the herding, the taking, the good, the flying, the good, getting, good, and flying, and flirting, acting, flatting, mocking, good, and good, and fleeing, good, gay, dusking, gay. The famous German spy. Stick up your hands, you dirty rat, you mighty good man, that's the FBI, find attention to the nervous side, tell Mary about it, you think the picture's about to end? But no. Who ever heard of a musical picture without Carmelita Pepita, the Bolivian bombshell? I wish you would come with me to my little village in Bolivia. So peaceful there are the purple mountains with their lovely beasts and the shining stars and the little people who live such simple and quiet, and all they want to do is conga! Sorry, Mr. Benny, I just got a little carried away.
All right, just introduce the next act.
All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with Sam Krager at the piano, we'd like to introduce Miss Kate Smith to wander through your many letters to command performance. and deliver a little package of songs to your APO number. Miss Kate Smith.
Thank you, Mr. K, Mr. Benny. Of course, there won't be enough time to sing each number all the way through, so I'll just get you started, and you can hum the rest of it during the week. How about that? Is that okay? Swell. For a couple of two-gun Texans, Barrett and Elkins, and the station hospital at 860, here's a bit of that good old Lone Star State. The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. The prairie sky is wide and high, deep in the heart of Texas. And somewhere on planet Earth, to wit, APO 301, many of you want this tune. I'll be with you in apple blossom time. I'll be with you to change your name to mine. One day in May, I'll come and say, happy the bride, the sun shines on today. And for 31 men who write in from the signal section at 512, the nurses and the patients in the first field hospital down under, the men on Mongoose Ridge, McGillicuddy and the egg layers at 817, here's a tiny bit of one of your favorites that tells its own story. Oh, how I miss you tonight. I miss you while lights are low. Oh, how I need you tonight. More than you'll ever know. But almost all of you ask for this next song, and truly I'll never grow tired singing it. It's the song that a certain 10,000 Marines sang not long ago on the hillside of a South Pacific island while the tropic rains poured down. Come on, all you Americans from the Arctic to the equator, let's sing it together. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, through the oceans white with fog. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Everybody. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with fog. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
This is Ken Carpenter, setting the alarm clock for next week, and telling any newcomers that command performance is arranged through the cooperation of the Hollywood Victory Committee, and is produced for you men of the Armed Forces of the United Nations by the Special Service Division of the War Department of the United States of America.
once again, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you've enjoyed our cream of the crop 10th anniversary command performance. And as I said, we are winding up our 10th season performing radio shows here at the Oak Park Arms, helping to raise money for local charities, so please be sure to drop some donations on your way out. And we're already planning our lineup for next year, packed with full of more comedies, dramas, plenty of radio-inspired imagination with aliens, faraway lands, and perhaps even a teddy bear. But before that, our next show, our scheduling conflicts are a little crazy, so we're skipping June, but our next show will be July 1st, beginning off the month with our first show, last show. That's a mouthful. Which actually features the first show we ever did back in September 2003, The Life of Riley, as Riley tries to rig a contest to count the number of beans to win a car. And then our the final show of the season is the last comedy from Old Time Radio, which was the final Jack Benny episode, in which they're saying goodbye to their season, and the sound man is having a little bit of an ego problem. So be sure to check it out, July 1st, 2 o'clock right here. Be sure to also check out our website, TTDYradio.com, for other updates and the show information. And now for the cast of those thrilling days of yesteryear. Playing the roles of Ken Carpenter, Phil Harris, and the contest caller, Don Gingle. Gary Gregg, Spike Jones, Sterling Holloway, and the repair department man, Lars Timlock. Virginia O'Brien, Linda Darnell, and our telephone operator, Amy Kennedy. George Burns, Cabby number 2, and Mr. Jones, John Gould. Gracie Allen, June Allison, and the information girl, Margie Gustafson. And Betty Hutton, Barbara Stanwyck, and the Hillside operator, Pam Turlo. Holly the Parrot, and Kate Smith, Val Glowinski. And covering the roles of Errol Flynn, Cabby number 1, Johnny McGuire, and George Evan Cater. And covering Agnes Moorhead, Jack Benny, John Corona. Also special thanks to the magnificent musical magic of Lex McCauley on piano. On the synchronous sonic silence of Pam Turlo on sound. And I'm the producer, who is also Danny K. Ben Dooley. Special thanks again to all those troops of past, present, and future who are really helping to keep our safe country safe. And on behalf of the cast, we'd like to extend our thanks to you, the audience, for once again helping our show to come alive, and for living those thrilling days of yesteryear so that we could bring them back to you.